Bob Cashell certainly knows the value and the impact of scouting. When we first talked to him about this award, he said, "But I was never a scout." Well, Bob, you may not have worn the uniform, but you are a good scout, through and through. We know that you do at least one good turn a day. And we've watched you do your best for decades. You are a proven leader, the man in the arena who does the hard work. In your business and government careers, you forge the trail, and you lead the hike. You see what needs to be done and you put your heart into the effort. The Scout Law describes you. You are indeed trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, cheerful, brave, and reverent. I defer to your lovely wife, Nancy, about obedient, thrifty, and clean. To further acknowledge Nancy, I would like to point out that behind every good scout, there is a smiling, supportive, badge-sewing woman of steel. Usually a mom. Bob said yes to this award with these simple words. Absolutely, because it's for the kids. Bob, on my honor, it's our honor to honor you.
First of all, have a seat, relax. When it comes to scouting, there are three important elements, and it's truly amazing to me that how some of these things mirror Bob's life. Three important things in scouting are hiking, aquatics, and camping. First of all, you don't want to see this guy swim, so aquatics is out. You don't ever want to see him swim. Hiking, the only hiking he does is after Nancy goes to bed, and he hikes to the refrigerator from the couch and eats chocolate chip cookies, Tootsie Rolls, and Coke. He goes to the El Dorado and Dawn tries to make him drink Diet Coke and Bob gags. He doesn't like it. Now hiking, I got to tell you the one camping story about Bob. I went to work for him at Boomtown in 1976 as his advertising manager, and I had no idea what I was doing. He called me in his office about 3 weeks after I'd been there, and he said, "Maynard, we're going camping." I said, "What do you mean we're going camping?" He goes, "I got to take Pat and Rob camping. We're part of the Indian Y Guides, and they go camping in Verdi every year. We're going camping." And I said, "Well, geez, Bob, what do I do? Do I buy tents, and do I have to get the cooking utensils? Everybody's got tents." He goes, "No, Maynard, you don't understand. We don't camp like that. We camp in a motorhome, Maynard." He said, "We don't camp. You go to Verdi, and there's 70 dads and their sons with real tents, and they build fires." Cashell says, "Maynard, we're going to get the fun bus, and here's the list. I want you to get 75 New York steaks, 75 lobsters, all the fixings. I want white tablecloths, I want tables and chairs, and I want real forks and spoons, not that plastic stuff. And you get lots of strawberry shortcake, and you load all that up, and you load the truck, and you tell the chef he's going to be out there to cook for us." So we do all this, and he said, "By the way, hide a case of wine and some bourbon and liquor and some scotch in the back of the seat. Don't let the Boy Scouts see it." So that was Bob's version. We loaded up, went out to Verdi. We had a chef, and waiters, and the whole deal. And he slept in the bed, and Rob and Pat had to sleep out on the ground. That's the only camping Bob Cashell's ever done. That's a true story. Anyway, in all seriousness, there are 5 elements in Boy Scouts, and one of the creeds is learning for life. There's 5 areas, and I'm going to quickly tell you. The one is leadership. Bob was obviously shown as a former lieutenant governor, as a University of Nevada Board of Regents, and of course our mayor. When education's the second element. Bob's a graduate of Stephen F. Austin University in Texas, and when he got elected to the Board of Regents, by the way, and we did that campaign, he immediately became chairman of the board in his first. He couldn't wait. He had to run everything right now. He wouldn't wait. The other thing over the years he's done is all the stuff that he and Nancy have done for all the high schools throughout Nevada, the University of Nevada, UNLV, the Boys and Girls Club. That's all the education Bob's been involved in. The third element is citizenship. No one bleeds red, white, and blue more than Robert Allen Boots Cashell. He proudly flew flags to free hostages back in the 70s. He flies the Texas flag, he flies the Nevada flag, and he flies the American flag. The fourth element are career opportunities, and there's no one I've ever met that's given more people career jobs than Bob Cashell. When we were at Boomtown, many of the young football players would get through college and then had nowhere to go, and Bob gave a lot of kids jobs. A lot of people in this room, Gary, Glenn, Gene, Greg, Cindy, Danny Morgan, myself, Chris Barrett, he gave all of us our starts many years ago, and all of us thank him for what he did. The fifth element is life skills. Bob and Nancy have raised 4 children, and like all of us, not without challenges. He's run many successful businesses. He's made millions, he's lost millions, and he's made millions again. And that's the American way, and that's Bob Cashell. And finally, something about Bob that's really pretty cool, and that is like people like Bob McDonald and a Bob Sullivan, a Perry DiLoretto, a Don Carano, and a Norm Deanda, Tom and Jack Revilio. Many times they only gave money if you didn't tell them where it came from. And they always wanted to be anonymous, and that was a lesson we all learned from the great Bob Sullivan. Bob and Nancy Cashell are just plain good folks that care about our community. Bob Cashell is a Boy Scouts man, he's a man's man, he's a ladies' man, he's a council man, but most of all, he's Nancy's man. He's a good role model. It kills me to say it, but he's a good role model for the Boy Scouts of America. Anyway, at that point, I'd like to introduce another guy that's a racetrack owner, a race car driver, a hunter, a fisherman, a cowboy, chairman of the board of Q&D Construction. But the most amazing thing about this guy for me is his hands. His hands are like this big. I don't know if mine are just small and his look big, but they're the size of a scooper on a backhoe. They're the biggest paws I've ever seen. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Norm Deanda.
Just going to take a couple of minutes, first of all, to congratulate Bob on this great honor. And if there's anybody deserving of it, it is Bob. But on behalf of Q&D, the Deanda family, all the staff and employees at Q&D, thank you all for being here and supporting such a great cause. I was never a Boy Scout, but I can tell you one thing. Boy Scouts of America have done wonders for many people in this country, in this community. And I think we should all be very, very proud of the fact of the great leadership that the Boy Scouts have in this community. So, Bob, thank you very much. And it's not only a pleasure to be able to say thank you, but it's also a pleasure being able to talk to you this afternoon and honor you in such a great way.
We're going to wrap it up with, I'd like to bring Keith Ashby and Sandy Rogers back up, and they have just a quick little ceremony, and then we're going to turn the microphone over to Boots Cashell, and I'm going out the back door. Can I start my spiel? Sure. The campaign hat worn by and associated with Robert Baden-Powell, the founder of the Scouting movement, is still available for wear by Boy Scouts and the Boy Scouts of America. Because their style of hat is also traditionally associated with scouting, campaign hats are often used as presentation items by troops and local councils for adult scouters and community and business leaders being honored for their service to the Scouting movement. It was no coincidence that the neckerchief had 3 sides, just like the 3 parts of the Scout Oath. On my honor, I'll do my best to my duty to God. The first and longest side is to remember you and your long-standing duty to God, to help other people at all times. The shorter side is to remind you of your duty to help others. Remember, it is some of this duty that shows to others, just like part of this side of your neckerchief shows. So do your duty to others, well, so that people might see the good work you do. The last side also shows to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. This last side is your duty to yourself. It shows to others as well. The neckerchief also gives us a means by which to remember the Scout Law. We wrap the neckerchief up for wear in small twists, 12 in fact. The wrap represents 12 points of the scout law. The neckerchief slide is put on upside down and can be turned over once the individual completes a good turn. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our good scout, Robert Allen Boots Cashell.
Joe was only here. I know he's in here somewhere, eating his heart out, eating it, Billy. What a great honor. There's a few of these people that, what's your name again? Jimmy mentioned, I had a chance to exterminate him when he was younger and I didn't do it. So that must be one of those good clauses. Poor old Joe Crowley's sitting here, he's got lost so much hair after I became chairman of the Board of Regents. He had to teach me all the big words to say when I got up to speed. This is a big word, Bob. Just say big word and keep on going. He used to write, he wrote a couple of speeches for me, and he had words in there that I couldn't pronounce if I wanted to. They never had those words in East Texas. So I started getting up to read them and doing, and he just said, when you run into one of those big words you can't pronounce, just say big word and keep on going. But what a great honor this is, and I can't tell you how much I really appreciate it. I appreciate all of y'all coming today to celebrate this honor for me, but also for the Boy Scouts of America. They do a great job. Everybody, they're great leaders, and the people that are involved with them are great leaders in this community. And it's the education they get as young people that makes them great scouts, makes them great leaders in our community. And I really appreciate this honor. And thank y'all very, very much for being here. And thank you again for being here. Thank y'all.
Anyway, thank you all so much. Thank you for coming. This is the first of an annual event, so it's a great way to kick it off. Thank you. Drive safe.